Actually, this one now. Okay. Actually, now the health secretary has rightly made that it is an epidemic. There is no doubt at all. Actually, we prepared this for the sake of the MCI. See, now 10 years since this year will mark a decade of Yerwadi tragedy. This is the Yerwadi scene, which you all haven't have seen. No, you forget about it. On 6th August 2001, everybody was aware about this particular thing, which made a history in Indian psychiatry. They could not escape the fire as they were chained. The current scenario now, mental health continues to subsist in the margins of general health services, with the government not ready to treat it separately or give it the budgetary due it deserves. Over 2 crore Indians need treatment for serious mental disorders and 5 crore for common mental health problems. Once you say this figure, immediately the bureaucrats turn that, no, we cannot manage this because we do not have a human resource. That is the first reply you get. And all the agenda goes to the backbenchers. 35 lakh people has to be admitted. Need hospitalization for mental illness at any given time. Dr. Bahir Rao told only 29,000 beds are available in the country. How are you going to accommodate the 35 lakh people? Only half of the government facilities offer rehabilitation services. You know that psychiatry is very much inbuilt with rehabilitation. 60% of districts have no mental health facilities. This is the reality. We are talking about district mental health program. Just 29,000 beds are available in all recognized mental health facilities in India. The treatment gap is 50 to 90%. You see, just you imagine the gap. WHO report says that the treatment gap is 50 to 90%, despite the Constitution guaranteeing services under Article 21. You put a PIL, immediately I think everybody will be behind. 38% of the hospitals have only custodial architecture. They do not have a really treatment architecture. Average age of psychiatric hospitals, 84 years. What is the age of your IMH? It's ours, average age is 84 years. 51% of the hospitals have closed wards, in violation of the Mental Health Act 1987 that replaced the Indian Lunacy Act. 39% of the hospitals have no psychologist. 50% have no psychiatric social workers. 67% have no psychiatric nurses. Indian mental hospitals lack facilities for children. Completely forgotten lot. Of 37 mental hospitals, only 7 have some provisions. Services available. You might have seen this, my article in the IJP. Only 4,000 registered practitioners with Indian Psychiatric Society, that is 1 per 3 lakh people. Australia has 50 times this number. India roughly needs around 11,500 psychiatrists. Of the 330 recognized medical colleges, only 101 offer the PG psychiatry. If you calculate this level, most probably it will take 560 years to match the demand, not 1 or 2 years, 560 years you need. Of the 142 weeks of MBBS training, of studies of psychiatry is just 20 hours. A mentally ill person makes about 30 visits to a government facility to get a disability certificate. They have done a survey. To get a disability certificate, the person has to visit the hospital at least for 30 times. Services available. Only half of the government facilities offer rehabilitation services. 60% districts have no mental health facilities. So is there hope? Perhaps we can try before it is too late. how to provide this gap or how to gap this gap? Is there any way forward? What are the requisites? Now, this is what we are trying to present. Each state should have minimum of 5 mental hospitals. Each state should be divided into 5 regions, and they must have minimum 5 mental hospitals. They should not travel for a very long distance to go to a mental hospital. And each mental hospital should not have bed strength more than 300. In the National Human Rights Survey, if you go into the details of this mental hospital setup, all those hospitals which have more than 500 bed strength, definitely it was not maintained well. Especially we can claim that this is the biggest mental hospital in Asia. We have 1,800 bed strength or something like Agra, IMH and other things, Ranchi. Definitely they cannot be looked after well. So what we are suggesting is there must be only 300 bed strength. Then I think you can take rounds, review the cases very nicely. Then definitely the income and output will be much more better. So 5 mental hospitals. Even I have written to the Tamil Nadu government that you sell the mental hospital in Kilpak and buy 10 mental hospitals throughout the states if you don't have money. So 5 into 300, it becomes 1,500 beds. Then each medical college should have 100 beds. See, we are all talking about these things. We should have 100 beds. It is not something alarming. Definitely you can have 100 beds. 40 for men, 40 for women, and 20 for children. Excluding drug abuse and alcoholism, I am telling, which includes mood disorders, schizophrenia, pubertal psychosis, acute disturbance of OCD, hysteria, organic brain syndrome, and psychiatric emergencies. Almost average, it will calculate 30 medical colleges, then it becomes 3,000 beds. District headquarters hospital. Each district headquarters hospital should have 30 beds. Includes acute cases, psychiatric emergencies, relapses, attempted suicide, pubertal psychosis, and acute crisis. Secretary was telling so many calls for the attempted suicide. So if you take 30 district headquarters into 30 beds, it becomes 900 beds. Taluk hospitals. Each taluk hospital should have 10 beds for all acute disturbances, whatever may be. So 10 into 100, it becomes 1,000 beds. So if you put all together, each state can have 700 beds per state. Just like that, we can create 7,000 beds per state. Assuming an average day of around 30 days, we can cater 84,000 inpatients benefited per year per state. Inpatient service only I am telling, 84,000 patients can go around. Maximum stay of 30 days if you calculate. Then assuming inpatient ratio with outpatient, that is 1:20, you can have 16,80,000 patients can be treated as outpatients per state. Hence around 21 lakh inpatients can be treated per year nationwide, which covers the entire prevalence of mental disorders and 4.2 crores of the total common mental disorders as outpatient services. Is it possible or not? People can say that it may not be possible. Now you go to any medical college, government hospitals, they see around 150 to 200 cases. I don't know whether they treat or not, they see at least this amount of cases. What is the manpower requirement? Medical colleges, this is the system now. 1 plus 2 plus 3, you all know. 1 professor, 1 assistant professor, 3 senior residents. So district headquarters, 1 psychiatrist and 2 assistants with general qualifications. Taluk hospital, general practitioner trained in psychiatry. You need not imagine to bring in a psychiatrist to the Taluk level. So medical colleges already, if you want to get the MCA recognition, they must have this infrastructure. Rope in 2 more general medical practitioners. So those things can be looked at very well. That too, if you have a PG of 2 to 4 in strength, then automatically the department can run in full strength. District headquarters psychiatrists must be posted as specialists. This is a very important representation wherever you go. I don't know what is happening in Andhra Pradesh. Tamil Nadu, we had a tough time in that. And once you are posted there, you are utilized for other services. So they don't work as a specialist. So they must be exempted by GO from casualty, postmortem and court duties. Then only they will be available in the department and cater that need of 30 as well as the National Mental Health Program can be taken care of. Then the manpower recognized. Now if you, tomorrow you are going to discuss about the Mental Health Care Act, there they are going to say that mental health professional, that means it includes psychiatrists, psychologists, social workers, nurses, everybody. Do we have that amount of mental health professionals to cater the needs? So nurses, occupational therapists and psychologists must be recruited with basic qualification. We do not have trained people. Post them in psychiatry department for a minimum of 24 months to 36 months. Don't transfer them. And once they work in 36 months, they can be designated as mental health professional, because nowadays the new act says that they would register in the mental health professional registry. So once we have this type of approach, automatically we can cater the needs with the available human resource to a certain extent. In this way, most probably we can go ahead and cover the whole mental health program in an effective way. This is the hope. I don't know whether it is a dream or a shadow or a true one. If we don't act now, I think the same thing will going to be repeated. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Tirnautar sir. In a small possible time, you have presented a excellent concept and projecting the requirements of the mental health facilities. Now I request another speaker, Dr. B. N. Gangadhar, Professor of Psychiatry, NIMHANS, Bangalore, to speak on mental health service delivery NIMHANS experience. Before that, I request my co-chairperson to introduce the speaker, though it is a formality. Please accept.